understanding the business life cycle is really useful for leaders to get some context around where you are on your own journey, but also what you need to be thinking about going into the future. So simplistically, pretty much any business will go through some kind of bell curve, as you've seen on here. So you'll see a business will start up. Obviously we'll look to move through that barrier of solvency as quickly as possible. And then obviously the name of the game, once you get beyond that startup and you're into a solvent position, is to accelerate that growth and ultimately get to a point where you can't maximize that growth anymore. And then you're in a position where, due to your market and your scale, now it's all about sustainability. And obviously then you move into a period of needing to transform. And obviously if you don't transform, at some point, the business will decline and fall away and need turning around or will end completely. And I think the only really difference with any business is just really how long does that take and how big is the scale. Obviously different for different businesses in different markets. I think so what we take from that is really the key thing is that need to restart your bell curve. So, what you see very often is that transformation starts, in that orange sector there, where we now, okay, we've maxed out all we can, we now need some kind of transformation, start a new bell curve, but often, the risk is you leave it too late and you're moving into that red zone and now you're more in a case of turnaround. What really, really smart businesses do is they start that journey early. So even when they're still on that up curve, moving into the sustainability, they're already working and thinking about that next bell curve, so they never have a period of decline. So that's kind of one thing to think about in terms of, where are you on this journey, but also when are you starting to think about your next bell curve and your next transformation. I think the second thing that's really critical on this is kind of that whole notion around profit. So what we see with businesses is that they assume as they scale and go up that growth curve that profit follows. And the reality is that isn't usually the case. We've talked in other videos how, the inefficiency of small businesses, when you move that into scale, that inefficiency compounds itself. So what you actually see with profit is not only does it not track the growth line and stay at similar percentages, it starts to flatten off. And in many, many instances in scale, you start to see businesses start to dip backwards in profit and even move into loss as they grow. So not uncommon for scale-ups to make less money and even in some instances start to lose money as they get bigger. So that's kind of the other reason to be really sort of mindful of your business life cycle as you move forward. So just, I suppose in summary, five key stages of a business life cycle determined by time and scale, which will be very market dependent. But the key things to remember is, at some point we're going to need to start our next bell curve and transform into the next phase. And we need to be mindful as we're going through that growth and scale phase that profit won't automatically follow. We need to work on that waste and inefficiency to ensure that we maintain those profit levels and hopefully even improve them as we move forward. Good luck.